Live from New Delhi, you're watching the India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Coming up in the next hour. The date is set. First face-to-face high-voltage matchup between U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and Democratic opponent Kamala Harris will happen on September 10th on ABC. US, Egypt and Qatar push efforts to jumpstart talks between Israel and Hamas, urge the two parties to resume talks on August 15th. Israel agrees to send negotiators. Hamas is yet to respond. Russia battles Ukrainian troops for third day in Kursk region. Russia terms it major provocation. IAEA says monitoring situation around Russia's nuclear power plant. Venezuela's Maduro's crackdown on social media platform continues 2 days after asking citizens to delete WhatsApp, signs decree blocking X for 10 days. And India's Neeraj Chopra clinches first silver for India in the men's javelin throw event at Paris Olympics. The elusive wait for a gold at Paris Olympics continues. Well, on to the details now. U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and Democratic opponent Kamala Harris will debate on September 10th on ABC, setting up the first face-to-face matchup between the rivals in what polls show is an extremely close race. In a news conference at his Florida residence, Trump said he wanted additional debates on September 4th and September 25th that would air on Fox and NBC. The news conference was Trump's first public appearance since Harris selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate on Tuesday.
I think it's very important to have debates, and we've agreed with Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement subject to them, on September 10th, and we've agreed with ABC on September 25th. So we have those three dates, and those networks, they're very anxiously awaiting that date and those dates. So we have September 4th, September 10th, and September 25th.
Well, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris has confirmed that she will attend the ABC debate on September 10th. Talking to reporters, Harris said she looks forward to debating Trump.
I'm glad that he's finally agreed to a debate on September 10th. I'm looking forward to it, and hope he shows up.
Are you open to more debate?
I am happy to have that conversation about an additional debate for after September 10th, for sure.
While U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris is in the battleground state of Arizona today as she continues to launch a campaign for the White House with a whirlwind tour of the country. Having addressed tens of thousands of people at rallies in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin and Michigan this week, the presidential candidate headed west overnight alongside a running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. In a bid to steal back the limelight, former President Donald Trump held a news conference at his Florida estate, slamming his rival for the Oval Office in a lengthy freewheeling speech littered with false statements, which the Harris camp called a, quote, public meltdown. Benji has been watching for more.
A tale of two campaigns, really. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have been bringing what they see as a message of hope and optimism to the United States, pulling in huge crowds nationwide. They met with union workers on Thursday before jetting off to campaign events in Arizona and California. Contrast that with Donald Trump, who took a leaf out of the book of fear and division, calling the US a sick country and peddling the prospect of World War III.
I think that our country is right now in the most dangerous position it's ever been in from an economic standpoint, from a safety standpoint. We have a lot of bad things coming up. You could end up in a depression of the 1929 variety, which would be a devastating thing. Took many years, took decades to recover from it. And we're very close to that, and we're very close to a world war. In my opinion, we're very close to a world war. We have people that don't know how to handle it.
Were Harris to win November's election, It was a stark split-screen moment, but one that Trump intended in his first public appearance since the Democratic Party ticket was confirmed. The Republican nominee keen to show himself facing the media, unlike Vice President Harris, who hasn't done a sat-down interview in front of the press in weeks. A set of debates proposed for next month will, Trump says, set the record straight. His comments on Thursday were otherwise rambling and at times misleading, claiming he had more people attend the attempted insurrection on January 6, 2021, when a mob stormed the US Capitol in a deadly riot to overturn the election outcome. More people there, he says, than Martin Luther King had at his famous I Have a Dream speech. He also appeared to conflate, perhaps intentionally, refugees and asylum seekers with those from insane asylums. He hit out at Jewish Democrat voters and at Harris's biracial identity. Her campaign clipped up those remarks for social media. Harris and her vice presidential pick, Tim Walz, described by Trump as incompetent radical leftists, are hoping to build on her honeymoon period momentum ahead of her party's national convention later this month, but they have no such news conference planned. Benji Haya in Washington, reporting for DD India.
Well, dramatic body cam video released by Butler County for the first time showing how police first responded to the gunman who shot former President Donald Trump at a rally on July 13th. The video shows local law enforcement officers helping each other onto the roof used by Thomas Crooks, climbing a ladder and eventually reaching Crooks' body after he was shot. Crooks' bleeding body can be seen a few steps away from the officers on the roof. The gunman killed one man in the crowd and critically wounded two others. Trump was wounded in the right ear. And updates on Gaza crisis now. In the latest attempt to end the Gaza conflict, the United States, Egypt and Qatar have called on Israel and Hamas to resume negotiations over a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Leaders of the three nations in a joint statement on Thursday called on Israel and Hamas to resume urgent discussion on August 15 to close all remaining gaps and implement a deal without delay. The three countries which have been trying to mediate a deal said the talks could take place in either Doha or Cairo. The leaders also offered to present a final bridging proposal resolving the remaining issues. Well, Israel has agreed to send negotiators to the proposed talks, which are penciled in for 15th August in Doha or Cairo. Hamas, however, did not immediately respond. The renewed diplomatic push will be seen as an attempt to stop regional conflict from spiraling out of control after Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated last week. Iran, blaming Israel, has vowed a response, though Israel has not commented directly on the killing. Well, the U.S. has reportedly warned Iran an attack on Israel would pose a serious risk for Iran's economy and government. A senior U.S. administration official said on Thursday that Iran would face significant consequences if it decides to attack Israel, an escalation that would also threaten any hopes of a ceasefire in the Gaza conflict. The official said that Iran has been put on notice that there is a serious risk of consequences for Iran's economy and the stability of its newly elected government if it goes down that path. And U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin held a telephonic conversation with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant on Thursday and discussed the U.S. steps in the Middle East to defend Israel and a Gaza ceasefire. Austin on social media platform X said the U.S. F-22 Raptors that arrived in the region on Thursday represent one of many efforts to deter aggression, defend Israel and protect U.S. forces in the region. He also stressed the importance of concluding a ceasefire deal in Gaza that releases the hostages. And Moscow on Thursday continued to fight against the Ukrainian military in Russia's southwestern Kursk region. The incursion started on Monday with Ukraine crossing the Russian border in a major offensive. Russia describes the attack as a large-scale provocation and vows to crush all 1,000 Ukrainian troops involved on the attack. Tasha Chernyshova has more from Moscow on this.
Moscow says the advance of the Ukrainian military in Russia's Kursk region was not allowed. Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed that it continued to eliminate the Ukrainian armed forces using airstrikes, missile and artillery fire. The MOD said Thursday that the Ukrainian armed forces have lost over 660 people and 82 armored vehicles since the start of the incursion. Throughout the day, Russian MOD released videos demonstrating the destruction of the Ukrainian military equipment in the region. Local authorities say that at least 4 people have been killed and over 60 wounded, and 3,000 residents have been relocated from the border areas in Kursk region, and other regions of the country have offered assistance to the Kursk residents. Russian officials say Kyiv's goal was to prove it was still capable of carrying out military activities. Russian Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations accused the Western countries of justifying what he described as Kyiv's terrorist actions. A senior Russian lawmaker said Kyiv wanted to improve its negotiating positions by staging the attack, but that will not help it. The incursion started on Tuesday morning, with Ukraine involving up to 1,000 servicemen, according to Russian military reports. Dasha Cherneshova reported in Moscow for DD India.
Well, the acting governor of Kursk region, Alexei Smirnov, said he had introduced a state of emergency in the border region. Russian President Vladimir Putin cast the Ukrainian attack as a major provocation, and Smirnov told Vladimir Putin via video link that evacuation of local residents is being conducted both by buses and by rail. Meanwhile, President Volodymyr Zelensky has praised the Ukrainian army for its ability to surprise and achieve results without making a reference to Kursk. He added that Moscow must feel the consequences for its offensive in Ukraine.
See that the Ukrainian army knows how to surprise and knows how to achieve results. This is demonstrated by the battlefield, where our soldiers not only withstood the overwhelming force of the occupiers, but also are destroying it in the way necessary to protect Ukraine, our state and independence.
Well, White House spokesperson Neeraj Chopra stated that the United States will contact Ukraine to understand its incursion into Russian territory. Chopra emphasized that U.S. had no prior knowledge of the attacks.
To them to see what their objective is and continue to stay focused. We are going to continue to stay focused on making sure they have what they need to defend themselves against Russia's aggression.
And the International Atomic Energy Agency is aware of developments around Russia's Kursk nuclear plant and is monitoring the situation. The IAEA chief, Rafael Grossi, has also expressed concern over the occurrence of intense fires near Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The IAEA said that on several occasions over the past week, the IAEA support and assistance mission observed several fires at various distances from the ZNPP and nearby villages. It added that as the summer heat continues, such fires along the pathways of the 2 remaining lines place the ZNPP at risk of loss of external power. While there was no disconnection of either line on this occasion, the situation highlighted the fragility of off-site power at the ZNPP. And still to come on DD India News Hour. In Bangladesh, new interim government takes charge as Nobel winner Muhammad Yunus heads the country. American singer Taylor Swift's 3 concerts in Vienna were cancelled this week after police foiled a terrorist attack. And a glimmer of hope beams as German scientists identified a fungi that can eat plastic, which can lead to a solution of the world's major environmental problem.
This summer, the world turns its eyes to Paris, and DD India brings you every heartbeat, every victory, and every story. Introducing our special coverage of the Paris Olympics. Experience the passion, the drama, and the triumphs. With exclusive reports, expert analysis, and up-to-the-minute updates. Join us as we bring the spirit of the Olympics to your screens.
Get ready for the ultimate sporting extravaganza on DD India.
DD India presents Champions Day Paris. Only on DD India. Every day at 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. Lipakshi Quran, and moving on. Nobel winner Muhammad Yunus takes charge as the head of Bangladesh's new interim government. Two key student leaders are part of his team. All eyes will now on be how they get law and order under control in India's neighboring country. More in this report.
Muhammad Yunus.
And with that, Bangladesh enters a new phase in its political journey. The interim leadership of Muhammad Yunus offers hope for more equitable and democratic future after weeks of violent protests. Two key student leaders are part of the caretaker government. Earlier in the day, calling hatred and unruliness as enemies of democracy, Yunus said that Bangladesh is all set to create its new dawn of victory.
Our first order of business should be to restore law and order. Until this is taken care of, we will not be able to proceed to further improve the situation. You have shown faith in me, and the students have reassured me to carry out that duty. We have to protect this freedom, not just protect it, we have to ensure that it reaches every single household. Otherwise, the freedom will have no meaning.
India is closely monitoring the situation in the neighboring nation as incidents on attack of minorities in Dhaka were reported. With the close contact with Bangladesh Army, India is patrolling its borders and keeping a close watch on any unauthorized entry of individuals.
Certain steps have been taken by groups and organizations, and we welcome that. But we want that the law and order situation in the country improves so that normal life can begin. We are closely monitoring the situation. We are in touch with them to ensure the safety and security of our missions, of our personnel who are manning those missions, and also for the safety and security of Indian nationals. Interest of the people of Bangladesh is foremost in our minds, in the mind of the government, and it's so important for government of India and for the people of India.
With the swearing in of the interim dispensation, Bangladeshis are hopeful of a better future for their country.
The example that the young generation has set of giving this country a rebirth, we are expecting that Yunus will be able to take it further to reconstruct our country.
We want conflict-free Bangladesh where no Awami League, no VNP and no other political parties can abuse power. I want to forget the past and move on.
I earnestly request the new government to put an end to bad politics in the country so the poor working class can live in peace.
Dhaka and several other cities saw weeks of unrest with mass protests and violence over job quota, which snowballed into a larger anti-government revolution. It forced Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to resign and take refuge in neighboring India. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, DD India's Naval Singh Parmar joins us for more on this. Well, Naval Singh, as you're back to Delhi, give us an update on the whole situation in Bangladesh as the new interim government has now taken over.
Yesterday, Dr. Yunus took the charge of interim government, and he and his team, team of total 70 advisors, have a tough task to establish law and order. First, they need to establish law and order situation in the Bangladesh because police force were not seen on the street in the last 3-4 days, and the miscreants were taking benefits of that, and there were a panic kind of situation in most of the cities. So law and order situation can be established with the help of police only, because army is deployed there, but army is not trained for maintaining a law and order situation. For that, police force and its allied agencies are required. So first, they need to establish a law and order things. Second thing, the people of Bangladesh, common people who joined the protest and they were on street and they were sloganing against the previous government, they are not aspiring to have a replacement of one head with the other and who run the country in the same way. They want to have an immediate election as soon as possible. They want to have a free and fair election, and they want to have a truly democratically elected government in their country. And for that matter, they are aspiring to, they are looking towards the Indian democracy. They praise Indian democracy a lot, and they want to have a democratically elected government as soon as possible in their country. And for that, they need to have a strong democratic institutions who can be very much useful to conduct election and to have a new elected government in Bangladesh. And third thing, in last 2 years, there were many economic issues, particularly the inflation, price rise, then the devaluation of taka from 80 rupees to 180 taka a dollar to 124 taka a dollar just last 2 years. So huge devaluation of taka. At the same time, reduction in purchasing power of taka and the unemployment, poverty. These are the economic and social issues they need to take up on priority.
All right, Naval Singh, as you told us in the last few days, a lot of lynching was still going on. Do you see normalcy limping back in the country now, as Yunus is very optimistic about it?
Actually, on 5th and 6th, what happened, that was the political vendetta kind of thing. The other party or opposition people or those who are having a grudge towards the ruling party leaders and activists, and particularly the Bangladesh Chhatra League students were on attack on 5th and 6th August. After that, whatever happens due to there are many criminals who are now out of prison due to jailbreak. So they are taking benefits of the absence of police on the street, and in every society there are many miscreants who used to take benefit of the troubled time. So they are creating targeted loot, dacoity, or some kind of targeted attack also. And of course, there are people in the political party or political establishment also. They want to settle their score and they want to take revenge from one wants to revenge from other, and other wants to revenge from third party. So that kind of things is happening because there is a lawlessness or a law and order situation is not in control. So people are taking benefits of the situation and they are setting their scores. So once the police force start performing their duty and with the backup of army, the situation will come under control. It is not normal, but they are trying to control. Army is doing their best to maintain law and order, but they are having its own limitation.
All right, Naval Singh, thank you so much for all that update from there. And now moving on, American singer Taylor Swift's 3 concerts in Vienna were cancelled this week after police said they had foiled a terrorist attack. A 19-year-old Austrian who was intent on attacking fans with a bomb or knife was arrested on Thursday. Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer said the teenager had planned to carry out a suicide attack that would have caused a bloodbath and had vowed loyalty to Islamic State. He added that the arrested man has made a full confession in the custody. 2 other Austrian youths aged 17 and 15 were detained on Wednesday over the reported plot.
The main suspect admitted that, together with 2 accomplices, he wanted to carry out a suicide attack. For that, he acquired weapons and explosives, and he carried out other preparations. It is indeed unimaginable to think what immeasurable damage would have been done had the plan succeeded.
Well, the United States have been in touch with the Austrian government over the issue of an alleged plot to strike a Taylor Swift concert in Vienna.
To speak to or confirm any kind of intelligence information. We have been, and when I say we, the broader United States government has been in touch with the Austrian government. The State Department has been in touch with the Austrian government. And I think it's important to say one other thing about this, which is we do commend the very swift action that they took to disrupt what could have quite obviously been a very serious incident.
All right, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro on Thursday said he has signed a resolution to block access to social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, in the country for 10 days. Maduro has frequently railed against ex-owner Elon Musk since the country's July 28th presidential election. In the days after the vote, protests from Venezuelans across the country and abroad broke out demanding Maduro step down and to honor a win by opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez. The protests were largely promoted on social media. The leftist president earlier this week had asked his supporters to also abandon messaging application WhatsApp, saying the app was being used to threaten the families of soldiers and police officers. And Tunisia's President Kais Saied has sacked the country's Prime Minister Ahmed Hachani. Hachani has been replaced with Kamel Madoni, who until his appointment was the country's Social Affairs Minister. DD India's Tasim Akende reports for more.
The sacking and replacement was announced in a presidential statement. The action is coming days after President Saied declared his intention to seek another term in office in October. The statement didn't explain the reason behind the Prime Minister's dismissal. But according to Amnesty International, the President Kais Saied-led government has in the last 3 years brought justice to its heels in the country, carrying out arrests and arbitrary prosecution of leaders of the political opposition, journalists and lawyers, among others. Amnesty International Secretary General Agnes Callamard says they've made requests for meetings with officials of the government last month, but got no response from them. It has called on the authorities to release all those who have been arrested and detained arbitrarily. The government has described the allegations of stifling critical voices against it as delusional, saying it is not true. Tasim Akende in Jos, reporting for DD India.
Well, Mexican farmers blocked a major highway between Mexico City and Puebla in central Mexico for more than 40 hours to demand overdue compensation from the government. Farmers began the protest on 6th of August, demanding that the government pay overdue compensation for land expropriated 60 years ago to build the highway. The Mexican government has agreed to compensate the farmers for the damage caused by the construction of the Mexico-Puebla highway, but only at the value established by an official appraisal. And Ghana opened its first commercial gold refinery in Accra as part of an effort by Africa's leading gold producer to add value and earn more from the precious metal, which has been mined for centuries. The Royal Ghana Gold Refinery, with the capacity to process 400 kilograms of gold per day, to source gold ore from small-scale and artisanal miners before acquiring licenses to process gold from large-scale miners. The refinery is a partnership between Rosie Royal Minerals of India and Ghana's Central Bank with a 20% stake. And now let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. After a dramatic police chase, a suspect was apprehended in Los Angeles, California on Thursday. The suspect was reportedly wanted for rape and robbery. For most of the chase, the suspect managed to evade multiple spike strips. However, in the Westwood area, he ran over a spike strip, causing at least one tire to deflate. Artwork, a world-famous artist, Fort Banksy, gets stolen after going on display in South London. The theft has sparked a widespread search, with authorities combing through surveillance footage and questioning witnesses. Experts are concerned that the piece may disappear into the underground. The issue has left both art enthusiasts and law enforcement officials on high alert. Germany scientists found a glimmer of hope by identifying a fungi which can eat plastic that could lead to a solution of the world's major environmental problems of composing millions of tons of plastic waste from the world's oceans every year, as it takes decades to degrade. Scientists believe the microbial plastic destroyers could be used in sewage treatment plants or other facilities with controlled conditions. However, the fungi are unlikely to be a solution for stemming the global flood of waste. Two Chinese giant pandas are now California residents as their enclosure at the San Diego Zoo. The pandas had their first interactions public of California Zoo on Thursday in an international ceremony. The pandas Yun Chuan and Xin Bao are the first to enter the United States in 21 years. The zoo is working closely with Chinese experts to aid in the adaptation period and understanding of the needs of the two pandas. And still to come on DD India News App. We'll tell you all about the largest multilateral air exercise, Tarang Shakti, in India, showcasing the country's defense prowess. Indian Air Force helicopters continued the rescue operations by airlifting the stranded pilgrims in Kedarnath Valley at full pace. And a team of the Election Commission of India is set to review the preparedness for the forthcoming assembly polls in Jammu and Kashmir.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News on Nepakchi Kurana, and time now for a quick recap of the headlines. The date is set. First face-to-face high-voltage matchup between U.S. Republicans presidential candidate Donald Trump and Democratic opponent Kamala Harris will happen on September 10th on ABC. U.S., Egypt and Qatar push efforts to jumpstart talks between Israel and Hamas, urge the two parties to resume talks on August 15th. Israel agrees to send negotiators. Hamas yet to respond. Russia battles Ukrainian troops for third day in Kursk region. Russia terms it major provocation. IAEA says monitoring situation around Russia's nuclear power plant. Venezuela's Maduro's crackdown on social media platform continues 2 days after asking citizens to delete WhatsApp, signs decree blocking X for 10 days. And India's Neeraj Chopra clinches first silver for India in the men's javelin throw event at Paris Olympics. The elusive wait for a gold at Paris Olympics continues. And moving on, the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, is on a 3-day visit to the island nation of New Zealand. During a visit, President will address the Indian diaspora in one of the largest cities of the country, Auckland. Early on Thursday, she held bilateral talks with the Governor-General and the Prime Minister of New Zealand. The President also announced that New Zealand has joined the International Solar Alliance and that a bilateral customs cooperation agreement between New Zealand and India has been signed. Tarang Shakti, largest multilateral And Tarang Shakti, largest multilateral air exercise in India, witnessed multiple fighter jets in action on day 2 in Solar, southern state of Tamil Nadu. Air forces from the US, Germany, France and several other countries participating in the exercise that will showcase the country's defense prowess and provide a platform to participating forces to foster interoperability. The second phase of the exercise will be held at Rajasthan's Jodhpur from August 29 to September 14th. That will see participation from Australia, Bangladesh, Greece, Singapore, the UAE and the US will their assets. And today is Nag Panchami, a unique festival in India that honors the spiritual and ecological importance of snakes. Let's take a look at this report to know more about the significance of these mysterious creatures and the importance of their protection.
Venture through the vast expanse of India and presume to grasp its essence. Think again. India, the muse of diverse cultures and culinary wonders, beckons with a symphony of festivals and rituals. Each celebration holds a profound significance, weaving a timeless connection to our natural realm. In the heart of India, there is a festival that celebrates the mysterious and majestic creatures that have long been revered in Indian culture. Nag Panchami is a festival dedicated to the worship of snakes, known as Nagas in Hindu mythology. It is believed that snakes are important symbols of fertility, protection, and good fortune. Snakes play a vital role in ecology, controlling pest populations and maintaining the balance of nature. Yet, they face threats like habitat loss and hunting. Snakes are indicators of ecosystem health. Their decline signals broader environmental issues.
Some people know the importance of snakes while others don't. Snakes are friends of farmers. Rats cause a lot of damage to crops, resulting in reduced yield. To prevent this, snakes help by controlling the rodent population. If snakes are present in the fields, it is their natural habitat, and killing them without a reason is not right. In such cases, one should seek help from the snake friends.
Amidst the shadows of looming threats, sanctuaries and conservationists stand as sentinels, guarding the delicate equilibrium of our biodiversity. Within the sinuous forms of serpents lies a tale of profound ecological harmony. Their presence not only shapes ecosystems but also mirrors the health of our planet. Within the delicate weave of Naga Panchami, a sacred truth resonates. Serpents are the silent guardians of our ecological symphony, deserving a reverence and protection.
And now let's take a look at other stories making news today. Honoring heroes on Independence Day this year, special invitations have been extended to ASHA and ANC workers across India to join the celebrations at Red Fort. Ahead of the 77th Independence Day, the Indian government has launched the third edition of Har Ghar Tiranga campaign starting from Friday. The initiative aims to foster national unity and pride. The Har Ghar Tiranga has seen success over the last 2 years. The campaign has seen over 23 crore tricolour being hoisted in Indian homes. An Election Commission of India delegation led by CEC Rajiv Kumar arrived at Srinagar on Thursday to review poll preparedness in Jammu and Kashmir. The ECI directed for the updation of the electoral rolls in the valley, witnessing the huge participation of the people of Jammu and Kashmir in the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections. The rescue operations by Indian Air Force helicopters in Kedarnath Valley continued full pace. On Thursday, the first shuttle at sunrise by the Mi-17 helicopter airlifted stranded pilgrims and 750 kg of relief material after negotiating challenging weather conditions. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Apple modifies App Store policy in European Union by revising rules to purchase outside the store. And India's hockey team bags nation's 4th bronze medal at Paris Olympics. Good news for all the noodle lovers in central Copenhagen.
Welcome to Jaipur.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lepakshi Kuran and on to some business news now. Apple announced changes to its App Store after the European Union accused the iPhone maker of breaking the bloc's landmark new digital rules. Apple said app developers will be able to communicate and promote offers for purchases available at a destination of their choice in the autumn. This means that app developers can include a link in their app that redirects the customers to a web page where the customer can conclude a contract. The EU had accused Apple in June of preventing app developers from freely steering consumers to alternative ways to pay. And U.S. stocks jumped on Thursday, with all three indexes closing sharply higher after jobless claims fell more than expected in the latest week. All of the S&P 500 sectors rose, led by gains in S&P 500 technology and communication services. Data showed the number of new applications last week for unemployment benefits fell more than expected. Stocks had sold off sharply after last week's July U.S. jobs report sparked fears of a potential U.S. recession. Traders also cited an unwinding of positions of carry trades, where investors borrow money from economies with low interest rates to fund their bets in high-yielding assets elsewhere. And on to some sports news now. First up, the action from Paris Olympics 2024. Well, Neeraj Chopra etched his name in the history books once again, becoming only the second Indian male athletes to secure 2 Olympic medals. Competing in the men's javelin throw final, Neeraj delivered an impressive 89.45 meters throw to claim the silver medal. The event was marked by intense competition, particularly from Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem, who emerged as the gold medalist. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Neeraj Chopra for winning silver medal in men's javelin at the Paris Olympics 2024. PM Modi wrote on social media platform X, and I quote, "Neeraj Chopra's excellence personified. Time and again, he's shown his brilliance. India is elated that he comes back with yet another Olympic success. Congratulations to him on winning the silver. He will continue to motivate countless upcoming athletes to pursue their dreams and make our nation proud," unquote. And after Neeraj Chopra won the silver medal in Paris, his village in Panipat erupted in joy. DD India's Abhishek Mahajan gets us more from Ground Zero.
All right, so good news in Paris Olympics also that Neeraj Chopra has won a silver medal. He could not defend his title, unfortunately, but yes, we are at Panipat at Neeraj Chopra's village, and they are happy. They are satisfied that he could not win the gold medal, but yes, he has won a silver medal, which is not an easy feat. And I'll also take one laddu, and everyone wants us to enjoy, and it's a good feat, it's a great feat, and second Indian male athlete who will be called a multiple medalist in Olympics. Sushil Kumar was the one who did it for the first time, and now Neeraj Chopra. But credit to Neeraj Chopra for throwing more than 89. This was his season best, and village people of Neeraj Chopra, they are happy, they are content, they are satisfied, and they are confident that in the next Olympics, which will be held in 2028 at Los Angeles, he will get a gold for India in javelin throw. But yes, for the time being, they all are celebrating. They are happy. There have been firecrackers also, and they are happy. They are satisfied that Neeraj Chopra has given India a silver medal in Paris Olympics. With cameraman Lalit, this is Abhishek Mahajan in Panipat for DD India.
At the Paris Olympics, Neeraj Chopra described it as one of the most competitive tournaments in Olympic history. In an exclusive interview with the correspondent Narayan Singh, he stated that his next target is to surpass the 90-meter mark.
We are joined by the double Olympic medalist Neeraj in Tokyo gold, and now it's silver in Paris. Neeraj, बात करें इस कंपटीशन की, टोक्यो में 87.58 में आपका गोल्ड आ गया था. इस बार 4 थ्रो लगी हैं 88 से ऊपर की. कंपटीशन वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इन द हिस्ट्री.
बिल्कुल जी, काफी जबरदस्त कंपटीशन था और सभी की परफॉर्मेंस बहुत अच्छी रही है. ओलंपिक का जो है रिकॉर्ड हुआ है, तो बहुत ही जबरदस्त कंपटीशन था.
तो 90 मीटर की हमेशा बात करते थे, आज वो मौका था, तो आप जब 93 पॉइंट के करीब उन्होंने डाल दिया था 93 मीटर के, तो तब क्या दिमाग में चल, थोड़ा उसको बताइए आप।
दिमाग में वही था कि क्योंकि जेवलिन 3-4 मीटर निकल जाती है, परफेक्ट सब कुछ अच्छा लगे तो, जैसे अरशद की निकली, तो वही था कि अगर सब कुछ अच्छा लगेगा तो निकल जाएगी। और आज वो दिन था कि शायद से वो एक बिलीव भी हो रहा था खुद पे कि आज का दिन है शायद वो, पर कोई बात नहीं, जितनी भी निकली है सीजन बेस्ट हुई है, उसका भी काफी अच्छा है और कंट्री के लिए मेडल जीता है।
So we know that we are expecting gold from Neeraj, but he missed as Arshad Nadeem threw a massive throw. But all in all, we know that the journey will continue. He's the golden boy of the Indian sports, and hoping the next time definitely he'll break that barrier and win gold for India.
Also, Neeraj Chopra came up with a season-best throw of 89.45 meters to clinch silver in javelin throw event at Paris Olympics 2024 early on Friday morning. DD India's Abhishek Mahajan spoke with Neeraj's father and his uncle after his silver medal win at Panipat. Take a listen.
चोपड़ा के पिताजी और चाचा जी हमारे साथ हैं, क्या कहना चाहेंगे? बड़ी उपलब्धि, टोक्यो में गोल्ड जीता था, अब सिल्वर मेडल।
ये भी एक बड़ी खुशी की पल है हमारे देश के लिए कि हम लगातार टोक्यो में गोल्ड जीता था और सिल्वर में, मतलब इसमें पेरिस में सिल्वर जीत पाए हैं। ये अपने देश के लिए बड़ी खुशी के पल है।
लेकिन 4 फाउल हो गए, आपको लगता है? हमेशा हमने देखा है कि बड़े इवेंट के, बड़े मैच के प्लेयर हैं नीरज, शुरुआत उनकी अच्छी हो जाती है तो बड़ा स्कोर करते हैं। वो 4 फाउल आपको लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं गोल्ड से इसीलिए थोड़ा सा चूक गए?
फाउल का भी प्रेशर आ जाता है, लेकिन मोस्टली जैसे आज उसने इतने फाउल किया, ऐसे कभी करता नहीं। वो इवेंट में लास्ट की थ्रो तक भी खींच के लेके जाता है मैच को।
All right, another bronze medal came for India at Paris Olympics as Indian men's hockey team defeated Spain 2-1. This was India's 13th medal in hockey at the Olympics.
The hockey team scripted history by clinching their 13th medal, most by any team in the history of Olympics. India outclassed Spain 2-1 to clinch bronze medal at the Paris 2024 Olympics on Thursday. This is overall the 4th bronze medal for the Indian hockey team at the Olympics. In fact, India won successive medals in hockey for the first time since the Munich Games in 1972. Repeating the success in consecutive Olympics is a milestone not seen since the 1968 and 1972 Games. Over 50 years ago, India clinched consecutive bronze medals, first by defeating West Germany 2-1 in 1968, and then by overcoming the Netherlands in 1972. This win also marked a befitting farewell to veteran goalkeeper P.R. Srijesh, who closed his glorious 2-decade-long international career serving India with distinction and deserved every bit of the dream swan song. The committed Indian fans and family of the hockey team broke into celebrations with this historic triumph.
Actually, words cannot express the pride and joy that I feel now. Achieving a bronze medal for India in the retirement match is truly a reward for his passion and dedication for hockey. And I'm actually speechless. We all are proud of him. He had made us happy in so many unforgettable moments. We all are proud of him.
Heading into Paris 2024, India were the most successful hockey team in Olympic history with 8 gold medals, 1 silver and 3 bronze. At Tokyo 2020, the team had broken a 41-year medal drought by capturing a historic bronze. India won their first gold medal after beating the Netherlands 3-0 in the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam and went on to dominate, winning gold medals in the 1932, 1936, 1948, 1952, 1956, 1964 and 1980 Olympics. In addition to their 8 gold medals, India claimed a silver medal in 1960 and 3 bronze medals in 1968 and 1972, and the previous Olympic Games in Tokyo in 2020. The Indian team might not have won a gold this time, but the bronze medal in Paris is a victory that carries a sweet sense of accomplishment. Narayan Singh's report, DD India, Paris.
Well, the Indian men's hockey team secured their 2nd consecutive Olympic bronze, a milestone last achieved in 1972. Catch the latest on how Indian fans are reacting to the country's triumph to bronze medal victory in hockey. DD India's Narayan Singh gets us more from Ground Zero.
A monumental achievement by the Indian hockey team, winning back-to-back medals at the Olympic Games, first in Tokyo, now in Paris. We can say that it's a change in guard, considering the fact that it will bring the lost glory, the once India dominated the world hockey. What you enjoyed most about today's match?
All the short corners from India were incredible. Go India!
Sir, the way India defended their medal at the Paris Games, overall a shift in the Indian hockey towards the golden days where they dominated the world hockey?
India actually was doing fairly well in the last Olympics. We also did very well, but we had to fight very tough teams. Great Britain match was actually a very big match, then Australia, then Spain. All teams were good and India was able to emerge.
It's the last tournament of PR Sijesh. So it's a big void in the Indian hockey, tough to fill those big shoes?
Absolutely. I mean, Srijesh for the past 1 decade, was like our mainstay for keeping, and the way he has performed in this tournament, I mean, it's exemplary. I mean, honestly, yes, very tough to find a replacement, but I'm sure the kind of team that we have built over the last 10 years, we will certainly find, a replacement for him. But of course, this medal should belong to him.
So we were absolutely hopeful that we'll be bouncing back, and it was very nervous moments, and last 5 minutes was absolutely very nervous, and hopefully we ended on the right side. And we are very happy about this, absolutely, yes.
So I was watching on the edge of my seat and just hoping that those goals wouldn't go in, and they didn't. India managed to save them, which was so good.
So those moments were very nervous for the fans, but finally the Indian hockey team managed to stop the Spanish team, who was the most unpredictable team of the tournament because of the defeated teams like Belgium, Germany in this tournament. But finally India managed to win that match, and definitely we are hoping that this winning momentum will continue to notch higher in the upcoming tournaments also. With camera person Senthil, Narayan Singh, DD India, Paris.
Well, with a continuous victory streak at the Paris Olympics, India's hockey team has shown remarkable improvement year after year. DD India's Narayan Singh provides us with in-depth insights on the team's progress. Take a listen.
Back-to-back medals, 2 bronze medals in the 2 Olympics. It's a big achievement for the Indian hockey. In the Tokyo, they won bronze medal, and now again in Paris, they are winning a bronze medal. It's after a very long gap that the Indian hockey team winning medals in the back-to-back games, and Harmanpreet Singh was excellent. He scored 2 goals and helped India to win the bronze medal. And the kind of hockey they played throughout the tournament, it was excellent right from the first match against New Zealand. After that, they drew against Argentina, then defeated Ireland. After that, in the very next match, they lost to Belgium, and the final group match, they defeated Australia. And we all know what kind of hockey Indian team played in the quarterfinals with 10 men down. They defeated Britain in that match and booked their berth in the semi-finals. And in the semi-finals against Germany, they almost they were there in the match, but towards the end of the match, Germany scored a goal and they won that match 3-2. And we can say that in that scenario, India lost an opportunity to play the gold medal match. But we can say that definitely India was one of the best teams in this tournament. They defeated the Spain team, who earlier defeated Germany and Belgium in their group games. So what a fantastic performance by the Indian hockey here. It shows that a continuous progress in the Indian hockey. Where there were days in the past when India failed to qualify for the Olympics, and in the next Olympics they couldn't register a single win. But now we can say that there is steady progress. The team, the way they played as a unit, it is kudos to them. And also the coach Craig Fulton, the philosophy that he brought in the Indian hockey is helping the Indian hockey. And definitely India deserves, we can say that, a gold medal here. But we know that it's Olympic. Here every team is very tough. And winning a bronze medal too here is not an easy achievement. And winning in back-to-back Olympics, it's a big achievement, and definitely the progress of the Indian hockey is on an upward trajectory.
Also, DD India's correspondent Narayan Singh spoke to Indian goalkeeper PR Srijesh, who is retiring after this Olympics.
Congratulations, a fantastic performance right from the first match. People dominated, missed by the goal by a whisker. But how you look this achievement, winning back-to-back medals in the Olympics?
So it's a great moment because we are going back home with a medal. So that is really important. I've seen people working really hard, struggling. All the athletes in the village, they were all working hard to get a medal for our country. And when we achieved it for our country, it's a great moment.
So when you joined hockey, it was, we can say, the dark days of the Indian hockey, rejection from the Olympics, and after that, not able to win a single match, and now back-to-back medal. How you look this journey of yourself and of Indian hockey?
It's all a process. You can't win an Olympic medal over the night, and we learned, we relearned. We got all the foreign coaches. We established ourselves. We played a lot of matches against all these teams. We lost. We learned from that. We started to change ourselves, and I think the players changed their mentality now. They know what to do to win an international level match and how to beat the top teams. And I think the process made all the changes. We started to believe in ourselves, and we started to dreaming about winning continuous medals in Olympic as well.
You are living on a high. It's rare that a sports person living on a high note. So the sports person who are looking up to you, what's your message to them?
Say, just work hard and keep your dream high to become an Olympic medalist. Not dream about becoming an Olympian. Dream about becoming an Olympics medalist. That's really important. Thank you. Bye.
So think big, dream high. This is the message from Srijesh, and definitely to fill the shoes of Srijesh will be a big task for the Indian hockey. But as we know that there is a plethora of talent in India, definitely our Indian hockey team will go ahead like this only and definitely win the medals in the upcoming Olympics too. With camera person Senthil, Narayan Singh, DD India, Paris.
Well, good news for all the noodle lovers. Danes in central Copenhagen mark the return to supermarket shelves of fiery South Korean ramen noodles that had been banned for being too spicy. Fans and noodle lovers participated in the event to try the noodles served by chefs on board the boat. The ban was lifted after further examination of the spicy noodles showed that they did not exceed the critical capsaicin level.
All right, thank you so much. Already ordered. All right. Tack bara. Jag ska på.
All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Kurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.